And what we keep assuming is that we've got to make this thing complex. The real problem is that Moors themselves, relative to the misrepresentation amongst ourselves, don't understand anything beyond that. That's where our problem is.
Call himself a Moor, Kai, because I don't wear my fez unless I'm going to work for somebody. I'm going to do something for somebody. And the brother, I said, first of all, I wear the fez because when I become an officer for somebody, I'm going to be the officer. That's what I would be. I said, whether they may say, oh, this got the Japheth Moody, this English name, got a warrant for it, I don't care. As long as I got this sovereign ID in my pocket saying I'm Shem Medakabe, and that I can go to an international number and say, here go the international number, and they come up in the IRS database, same system, and give you the Social Security Administration number, it's going to come up and say, revocable trust, nationality, Shem Medakabe. Come up with grantor and trustee, Japheth Moody. I'm the one with revocable trust. Revocable trust means something that cannot be turned away.
That's right. That's unalienable, isn't it?
That's right. So I said, I went back into the system, thank Jehovah Yahweh, that I seen that a number got you into the world. I said, the more science temple is supposed to be able somewhere to come along, and you know what I'm saying, it should be that nationalize you. Nationalize you, not nationalize, nationalize you. At the same time, it's their job to show you how to get back all that the state been stealing from you out of the vault.
Yes.
Because I do believe that they say that we got aboriginal assets in the vault that can only be touched by us. And this is the reason why they want us to register. This is why they put us in jail to get our signature. Anything to get somebody to release some credit off the vault. That's what I heard. This is what I heard. Coming from the and I heard the Moorish Science Temple, their job is supposed to be, not even the Moorish Science Temple, any government that claimed to be, that I learned, like me, I looked at Drew Ali, the brother said, I started the, I told him, I started the Wichita's and Moorish national nations of our world. I said, I had to sit, I said, what I did was, I'm going to have it where if anybody do come and get nationalized, and I don't care if I'm in a small room, that's a public record, we just need a website. A man could be in here with 5 websites.
Yes.
The websites is the way to say ignorance is no excuse to law. But we don't have nobody from the Moorish Science Temple to come down there and say, okay, it's a property down there. Somebody from the Moorish Science Temple that comes to the student, you hold a citizen, a Moorish American.
Now, let me explain this to you so that you'll know. The very argument that we're making right now, it's already in the process of correcting a lot of that is being done right now as you're speaking. You know, just for your own information. As a matter of fact, we were on the phone even last night with Mecca, Grand Sheiks from Mecca, dealing with this very thing that you're talking about. You know, those things are in operations of being corrected.
But then I had all the brothers always say that, I was telling the decent, I said like more science temple, you know, he got a more science temple, you know that, right? He got a more science temple, like so I said, don't worry about it, don't go to a different state and put nobody public record. So put it in the newspaper, get a poster, like a prize fighter doing for a fight, put it in the poster, go right down City Hall, post it right down City Hall. Everybody come through City Hall.
See it.
I say, take it and post it, take your camera down and set it right down City Hall. Watch the guy post it up, put your camera right there, show it. Show him posting it. He talking like posting it. Go to MySpace, put it on MySpace on the website, that's a public record.
That's a public. There you go.
I said, now anybody's, now, ignorance is no excuse to the law.
Ignorance of the law is no excuse.
Right.
That's what it is.
I go my wallet, stop by this security guard, and I show him, listen, to verify this, is the what? Go to the website.
Yeah.
He goes to the website, they come back and say, it's a lot of good. Well, do you have any state ID? He said, excuse me, I just gave you my credentials to verify that I don't need a state ID. Now see, we don't have nobody, but some of them are, well, I'm going to take you, I'm going to have to fingerprint you even though, and we don't have nobody that we can contact that can come and say, right there on the scene, our own officer, more, and say, what's the problem? And I said, listen, I just showed this man, he's on the website, probably look at this. And we'll have him more say, excuse me, officer, but all due respect, the Moorish Americans are not part of the state of Pennsylvania. The state of Pennsylvania is in the Moorish American land.
Mm-hmm.
And under the Constitution, the Bill of Rights, you were given amnesty to operate here.
Yeah.
But you're not even co-equal with us.
We're not in you, you're in us.
Right.
That concept must be there. And
Right.
this is where I always argue people when they be saying we're a nation. We're not a nation, and we're not a nation in a nation.
Right.
We're a nation under occupation
Right.
of a foreign entity
Right.
that's claiming sovereign power that doesn't reside with them.
Right. De facto.
Yes.
And that's why I said we don't have nobody in the Moorish Science Temple to come out Moors to operate as their officer. Go to the courts and say this is a matter foreign consulted is going to be dealt with in our court, in our regional jurisdiction.
All right.
We
Now,
don't have nobody.
now here we go again.
They sold this out. What more do you want, man?
No, the deal. No, this is the
time.
point.
No, they don't know time.
What?
I think it's time.
Yeah.
When it comes this far like this, when it comes this far, you see the overlapping of abuse.
Yes.
And it's not when a person keeps repeating something repeatedly and keep saying they know. You have to come up with a
Common denominator.
Common denominator, and logic and reason leads you to say that they don't know.
Yes.
They ignorant.
No,
and don't want to let
see,
you know.
it's two things. Logic and reason says they don't know, which disqualifies them, or they do know and they're subverting, which disqualifies them. Which two things in law says incompetence, or they're perpetrating, or they're traitor. You know and I know. Now, there's enough information, even as we've gone through talking about the Moorish Divine National Movement, that indicates governmental principles and governmental law specifically, doesn't dance around it. Those constitutional principles haven't been violated, which is why we're in the situation we're in today.
So you say that this, me and the brother Decent can get 1,000 flyers.
Yeah,
2,000 flyers, man. This is a flyer.
Mm-hmm.
You know, this is 10,000 flyers. I can go around City Hall to the City Council building and say, you've been noticed. You've been noticed. You've been noticed. I'm going to have them say, you've been noticed. This thing that this is more science simple. Any identification of credentials, look upon, go to this website, or come to the more science temple as such and such and such and such and such. Yeah, so. Now, it's their duty, once they notice, is that their job is to say, okay, if you stop somebody, law enforcement officer or anybody, this is your way of knowing if it's authentic, if it's genuine, or if it's colorful. If you say something is not real. So if you stop a Moorish American and realize he's a Moorish American, and you pull out his credentials, identification credentials, this is the way it's shown by this website, or go down to the public record in the county of St. Mexico, or in Susquehanna, or in the Wichita, or near the Cherokee, wherever it may be at. But that's how it's supposed to be the more scientific operation. What you say? Now give us some pointers. You ask a Grand Sheik, what would you recommend? What did you see? What do you see that should be corrected?
I'll repeat exactly what we said last night, because we was on the conference last night dealing with these same matters. And they agreed to these same fundamental principles, and they're already in course in doing that. Already, right now, even before we even had this conversation. They're not unaware of it. What has happened is that with a few issues that have been coming up in Chicago and other areas in the Midwest and other areas with Moors, is that you have enough Grand Sheiks that are coming to the table admitting that the movement had been misrepresented and that they're doing such things to start correcting, and they're reaching out to active Moors to present information on a forum to make this possible, that the exercising of government powers that's already in movement should be operated, even to the point of saying readopting the original charter, etc., which logically involves these matters, you know. And as you say, a lot of people, a lot of Grand Sheiks have not